You're listening to some Trans-Real News bonus material. Hi everybody, Brian Rideout here. You may have noticed me releasing an episode on Saturday. And that's because WordPress confuses me sometimes. At some point during the process of preparing episode 27 for release, I must have misclicked or reverted a change from my draft, which ended up causing the episode to be released 2 days early. Now, I didn't want to throw off my release schedule too much, so to keep me on a schedule, I prepared a little bonus material for you. And given that in the United States tomorrow is Memorial Day, what better theme to talk about than barbecue? I hope you enjoy.
Time to get right out ahead and see what's up in the cosmos instead. Pour some wine, grab some tunes. Let Klie Maxwell show you something new.
Hello again, my loves. I'm coming to you from the Aptos Primordial Swamps with Bob.
Howdy.
Ashley.
Hey, y'all.
And new guest, Torg.
Arrrr.
We're heading into the Killing Grill, the new barbarian barbecue joint on the Rio del Mar, to give you my impression of time barbarian cuisine.
Ready your palate, Klie. Even your hedonistic taste buds will be pleased. My last barbarian meal was a hell of a feast.
Okay, Torg, tell us about what we can expect.
The truest of barbecue experiences. We send young braves into the swamps of Aptos to hunt the primordial life here in the marshes. The deadlier the foe, the better. They bring in their kills for judgment by the huntsmaster, who has proven himself against the sapient neo-mammoths of our own time. The fresh kills are then brought to the cooking halls and marinated in mead or wine for a full day, while spices, gathered by the wisest of our blade wives, are bruised on the rock-hard thighs of young shield maidens, or crushed under mortars made by fossilized monster bones, and then mixed into a sweet, spicy, or savory sauce. If a creature has venom, a safe amount is added into the sauce. The beast is butchered and cast immediately onto the coals, as rites to the Flame Lords are chanted. Then it is served without utensils in heaping manly portions, although some are served with pitas.
That does sound tasty.
Barbecue is the manliest of all arts, manlier than dance, manlier than dueling, even manlier than singing songs of your ancestors, perhaps even manlier than puppetry.
Wait, did you say puppetry? Very tasty.
You, next in line, warriors and wenches only. The cowboy and the girl may enter, but this skinny one has a soft, spoiled look about him. Fool! Come here and let me inform you of the dire error you commit. That truly is an honored warrior. Forgive my arrogance.
Think nothing of it, darling. I try to be underestimatable. All right, my loves, we are in, and this place is fun. It's like a mix of a lop-heavy Upper Plains Inn and a 1980s leather bar, with just a touch of biker hangout and Kiss Army meetup.
But with better singing.
And everyone's so stacked. It's like a boxing gym.
Ha! That is high praise.
Tell us about the beer, Torg.
Beer is rare in our time. Barley as a grain was wiped from the earth long before. When our tribe began its first forays through time, many wished to taste the legendary beverage and raided several microbreweries. It is a fine drink to be sure, but most are weak compared to the meads of my people.
Obviously, you are stealing beer from America.
Aye, a mistake we made early in our raids, but it set us up to take the beers we tasted and make them mightier. We returned barley to our century and grew it until we were able to begin brewing our own. This is a dark Sturmbrow, made to increase the kick and spiced with firedrake scales.
I took it for a porter at first, but that explains the fiery kick. Even the beer is spicy here.
Well, I could use another. I fully intend to let this go straight to my head.
Ha! A shield maiden at heart.
If I were to recommend it to someone, I would say that it is a great place for metalheads, hard-working shit-kickers, and D&D nerds, if they can look mean enough to get in.
Huh. That's hilarious and accurate.
Are you ready to order, hearty ones?
Another picture of Sturmbrow, please.
I'm doing a review. What would you recommend?
We have freshly slaughtered Arthropluria, marinated in wine and its own venom, served on a bed of greens and primeval cactus fruit. It's mildly hallucinogenic, but the flavor's exquisite. The California Primal Salad Dressing from Nuclear Foods is based on our Cookmaster's recipe. And we have a special on grilled, man-eating rhizotus fish. If you are looking for appetizers, we're making fritters of vicious tetrapods.
Excellent. We'll try it all.
A feast fit for the warriors of truth.
Okay, pass me another tetrapod fritter. Everything has a ton of flavor. It's like something halfway between Southwest and spicy Korean barbecue. But you have to be able to handle your beer, because you're going to need a ton of it.
We train our young by making them enter to pepper eating contests if they wish to be allowed to have sweets.
And the texture of the the big-ass centipede ain't at all what I was expecting. It's tender. Squishy.
I was definitely expecting something squishy.
And the beer and the venom sauce are going straight to my head. I'm tingling in all the places.
Ashley, my love, it's charming that you're old-fashioned enough to play footsie under the table, but you may wish to mind your aim.
Oops.
How do you make sure you don't come out of this tripping balls, Torg?
You rely on pure constitution and moderation. I fear this may be a bit of a trap for immoderate 21st centuryers.
Well, it's a hell of a place to take a date. You can't eat too much. The food is so tasty you end up satisfied anyway. And the booze, venom, and hallucinogens make a girl.
Just warn me when you two inevitably sneak off to the bathroom so I can edit it out, Well, if we have your permission. I wish I could remain a teenager at heart like you two.
Oh, look, here comes the... And then they made me their chief.
Well, that was a fantastic meal, and Bob and Ashley seem to be on their way back. Let's see what we can find for dessert.
Well, I must say I have worked back up enough of an appetite. Do they have dessert here?
Of course. We have less of a sweet tooth than some cultures, but every warrior needs his indulgences to unwind. I was particularly prone to the sweets as a child.
I'm assuming it ain't chilled monkey brains or something.
Perish the thought. Utah!
I'm glad you are having such a good time. Your visit may be the stuff of legend.
Well, I can't say as I've ever been applauded for my shenanigans before.
You've never eaten at a civilized restaurant before.
Bring my friend some meaded cactus fruit.
But a moment.
Cactus fruit and mead? Torg, I'm already seeing little pink elephants all over the place. Will this leave me tripping?
Nay, but you may be even more drunk. Bring it on.
I was seeing ads in the bathroom for a competition called the Path of Bone. What's that all about, Torg?
It is a survival competition, brutal and honest, where you may bring only a few tools into the petrified forests of Eldrune, and must be the first to bring back the fossilized skull of a nightmare hound.
Huh. Can anyone get in?
Aye, but few withstand its perils. It requires courage, cunning, survival skills, and knowledge of the noospheric perils.
I just might want some directions. Nothing like being bold.
Here you are, champions. And the bill.
Well, that's downright reasonable. I shall have to give a damned good tip. It is the morning after, my loves. The dessert was good. The food was excellent. The atmosphere, a pretty metal experience. But the hangover's wicked. 5 out of 5, and likely 3 days of recovery. I love you all. This has been some Transreal News bonus content. I always welcome comments and love to hear from my listeners. If you go to my website at trans-real.stormheadproductions.ca and look over in the right-hand column, you'll be able to find a button that says, "Tell me what you think." You can use it to drop me an email directly to my website. I might share your comments and reviews, or use your ideas in the podcast. As always, Transreal News was written, directed, and performed by Brian C. Rideout, and produced by Stormhead Productions, which is really also Brian C. Rideout. A special thanks goes out to my friend Thomas for giving me the idea for this episode. The voice of Yuta the Tavern Wench was performed by Nola Rideout. Thank you all so much for listening.